All right, guys, today we're talking about why she stopped texting you, which is so weird and you can't figure it out. This has happened to all of us, right? And so we're going to dive into the brutally honest truth about why she stopped texting you. And this happens to so many guys. It's happened to me before when I had no game. And most guys aren't honest, right? Most platforms sugarcoat things. This is the most no fluff channel on the internet, okay? You're going to know exactly why she stopped texting you. And it's frustrating because you meet someone and it's fun, it's interesting, you're into them, and then poof, she's gone. But why? When you know the reason, which I'm going to tell you in this video, it'll never happen again. You can be the one doing the poofing if you don't want to, be there anymore. It's in your hands. You're dating on your hands. So let's take you back because I want to tell you about a time this happened to me. Multiple times it happened to me. Let's take you back to 8th grade. Okay, I was 13 years old. Obviously, zero riz, zero game. I'm just starting to talk to girls. I'm going through puberty. All of these things are happening so fast. I'm 13 years old, and I meet this girl, and I liked her. I got along with her really well, and we texted day and night. You know where this is going. We texted day and freaking night. I really liked her. And one day she just ghosted me out of nowhere, quote unquote, out of nowhere, right? And when you don't know the game, you think it's out of nowhere. You think it's random. It's really not. This shit happens because you do certain behaviors. There's a system to the game. And so I'm 13, she disappears. We stop talking. I'm pissed. I'm annoyed. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Right? That's the question every guy will ask. What did I do? Which is the worst question to ever ask yourself. Unless you come to a conclusion. Because it's not something you really did. It's just your behavior. Right? There's no one moment, which is a big, big confusion point. A lot of guys think there must have been one thing I did. Right? One moment that changed the direction of the relationship. But it's not that. Women are done with guys months before they say they are, verbally to them. Mentally, they will check out. And while they're checking out, they will keep talking to you. They'll use you for attention. They'll use you for comfort, for company, whatever. But simultaneously, they're getting their ducks in order for another guy they like more. And they'll start opening up other options. But they won't cut you off initially. But by the time they actually cut you off and ghost you, they've mentally checked out a long time ago. It's just the rule of the game. And so now looking back, it's because of how I was treating her. And it wasn't one thing that happened. It was a built-up of a bunch of things of me texting her way too much, being way too boring, being way too lovey-dovey, being way too predictable. And you have to understand something. There's always an A and a B side in a relationship, in a dynamic with a woman. There is always somebody that likes somebody else more. It's never equal. That's impossible. Get that out of your mind. Get the fantasy out of your mind. Get the Disney movie out of your mind. Get all of this stuff out of your damn head about how dating works. We're in uncharted territories now, guys, with online dating. This is revolutionary. This has never been done before. And this applies to in-person dating, don't worry. But dating in general has never been more different than it's ever been in history. It's very different. There's different rules. Women now have more options than ever. Women can now get access to more attention than ever. I mean, the landscape is very different. So the game you have to play needs to evolve to play the game, right? If we're playing basketball and now there's 5 quarters instead of 4, we're probably going to do things differently in terms of our lineup, in terms of rest, in terms of our practicing, because we have to adjust to the rules of the game. As the rules of the game shift and change in modern dating, you need to do the same thing with your quote-unquote training, with your education, with knowing how to talk to and handle women, because it's evolving. And women on a biological level, naturally, are never going to change. Never will, right? But the landscape of the game is different. And so, based on that, you either smarten up, you train better, you train differently for the new rules of the game, or you get killed. And so looking back on my situation, it really does hurt. It really does bug you as a guy. Because you take a lot of blame, right? And you never want to get emotional in the game of dating. You want to have thick skin. You never want to think to yourself, I'm the problem. You never want those thoughts to go through your head, because you could do everything right in theory and have her still ghost or leave or whatever. We just have to take things into our own hands and control what we can control. You don't know what kind of trauma she has. You don't know what kind of guy she's in love with. You don't know what her ex was. You don't know any of these circumstances that can take her away from you. So don't take it personally, but just smarten up with the game. And so when we look back on my scenario, right? I was young. I was naive. I showed all my affection. I showed everything on the surface, what I was feeling. which is a big, big mistake. Let me preface this. I like this girl. And so what I did was I showed it because I thought that's what I should be doing. And that's what honestly feels natural as human beings, especially as a kid. But as human beings, like naturally, the more you like someone, the more you want to tell them, the more you want to show them, the more you want to spend time around them. But women are natural creatures. They don't operate with 2 + 2 = 4. They operate more like 2 + 2 = 6. Got to divide that by 3, and then you get somewhere. It's not linear. And so I was doing what felt natural to me at the time. I was doing what I thought everybody should be doing. I like her. I'm going to show her. Why would I not do anything different? Isn't she going to like me more the more I show her? Ha ha ha. That's what you think. That's what you think. And so I did that via text, via my attention, via my time. It was like one of those, we've all been through these, right? It's one of those things where it's like, if I wasn't like playing my sport or in a class with no phones, I am texting this fucking girl. Like all the damn, like showering her in attention, showering her. I miss you. I can't wait to see you, blah, blah, blah. We've all been there, guys. We've all made these mistakes. And it's a complete overdose on validation and attention. And here's what happens in the female mind, no matter how old, no matter how young, is they get bored of the same thing. What really keeps them around, what really keeps them wanting to be with you, is how you can provide variance to their emotions, how you can intrigue them, what kind of interest you can draw up and make them feel, right? If you make them feel boring with predictability, with over-attention, with overcompensating, they view it as boring, they view you as weak. So as time was going on, in the beginning, you know, when you're hot and heavy, when you're 13, but like, you know what I mean. When the emotions are high in the beginning, the games, you know, it depends. It was fine. Let's put it that way. She was okay with it. But as time went on, it gets more predictable, it gets more boring, right? Because in the beginning, it's interesting, it's new. Like this, here's a new guy, and here's new behavior, and here's new words, and new affirmations, and new texting. And so in the beginning, it's more interesting by default. But as time goes on, and as she comes to know you more, that's when you have to be diversifying your behavior. You have to be changing how you're treating her. You have to be hot and cold. Because once it's predictable, once she knows who you are, she will ghost you because she's over it. She is bored. And women, this is not a knock on women, but they're very selfish, okay? They're not going to give you closure. They don't care. Why? They don't give a shit. That's just going to make them feel worse, right? That's going to make them feel like they're a bad person. That's going to make them feel like maybe they shouldn't do it. And so they'll avoid that behavior because it's going to make them feel bad. And so they're not going to do it. That's why they ghost. That's why they don't have closure. And teach their own, right? If they don't owe me anything, I don't owe them anything either. This is just the law this is the rules of the game. Maybe you like her way more than she likes you, and so you think, well, she owed me that, but she doesn't like you like that much. So who cares? She doesn't even owe you closure at that point. And so here are the principles based on my stories that I've gone through many, many times in my real life experience on how to have her not ghost you and how to date on your terms. You have to not engage and not go over the climax of emotional texting. So here's what that means. If you're texting a woman, great conversation, let's say, banter, back and forth, it's funny, you have to be the one that pulls away first, okay? You cannot be the one left, aka holding the bag at the end of the conversation after the climax is over, right? You're the last one to text. That's a red zone you don't want to be in. When you're that guy, you get left on red. You get ghosted. Because she had her fun with you. And now what's the point, right? In those moments, you either need to pull away before the climax comes of the conversation, or during the climax, you need to redirect it to something tangible like making plans so that you get what you want, right? Nobody here wants to text women. Nobody here wants to sit on their phone all day, right? It's a means to an end to get them on a date, to hang out with them, to spend time with them, etc. To get what you want to get out of it, or the relationship, whatever. And so you have two choices really in that climax of conversation. You can either pull away completely and vanish, come back later, or you can completely redirect at the peak of their emotion and make plans. So the first way is you would vanish, maybe come back in a day or two, be like, hey, let's make plans. Or a voice note. Right? You want to have a brand new conversation. Don't pick up the conversation where it left off. You want to have a brand new conversation. And I'll do this in a way that's tasteful. And so I'll know when a conversation's going well. I'll see it conspiring. I'll dip. I'll dip. Then I'll come back and I'll say, what are you doing blank? I'm super blunt. I'm super straightforward. Literally no acknowledgement of anything we were talking about. Zero. Like the conversation is over. It never happened. You don't pick it up. Okay. You can't get back in that emotional frame. Now it's an emotional frame of, I know she wants more. I know she wants me to text her and she's going to get rewarded by making plans with me, which is exactly what you want. And so I'll come back and be like, let's say we have a conversation, really good conversation on Tuesday. Okay. I vanish. I'm gone. Now on Wednesday afternoon, I'm going to go, what are you doing Friday? Let's go out. One or the other or both. What are you doing Friday? Let's go out. Or what are you doing on Friday? Simple. And this is now going to lead her, because she's expecting a response. She wants to respond. She's going to then come back and say, either I am busy or I have plans. Or I'm free and we can make plans. If she's free, we can make plans. You just set the plans, you set the date, and you stop texting. Okay? Get her to confirm, stop texting. Don't continue on this tangent. Okay? She's going to get bored, she's going to ghost you. Leave the juice, leave the emotional juice for the day. Now, if she says she's busy, okay, in my opinion, depends on how much abundance you have with women. I have a lot of abundance, so I have a shorter leash. So if she says she's busy, but then offers other days and times when she's available, I will then set the plan. If she just texts me and goes, yeah, I'm busy, I'm like, all right. Or actually, I won't even say all right. I just won't respond. I just won't talk to her again, to be completely honest. Because it's like, this is how you know if she's using you for attention. Very clearly. Because women will just talk to a guy just to get attention. Perfect example. The other day I matched this girl on Hinge. And I'm like, let's get off the app. Let's make plans. She goes, oh, actually, I live in Belgium. What the fuck? What am I doing here? She's like, I don't know, just to talk. I'm like, you're blocked. Get the fuck out of here. Like you're just using me for attention as a pen pal? Don't let them waste your time, guys. And so make plans if they offer another solution. If they just say, no, I'm busy, and you don't have a lot of abundance, okay? You're not at my level yet. Ghost, come back later. It's your only shot, okay? We don't want to be in a position where, like, okay, what about Saturday? Okay, what about Sunday? That's fine. I can make my... No. You're losing frame so rapidly by the second, she will ghost you, okay? If you're going to try and regain frame after that, you vanish and you come back with a voice note, with a random thing, with a random thought a week later, and you try again in some other creative way that doesn't seem desperate. When you seem desperate, she ghosts you, okay? Now, let's talk about the other way. And the other way is during climax, you make plans on that spot. Okay. Another great way to vet, she's using it for attention and to be a pen pal. Conversation's going great. And then you go to make the plans. This is what you do. Very simple. Like I said, let's make plans. Let's go out this day. The more direct and the less you have them think about it, the better. And you can say something like this. Same example. Let's say it's a Tuesday. Say, hey, let's go out Thursday night. I know a great spot for tacos. 7 p.m. Don't ask. No question mark. Just that. Completely deflect the conversation. And you could even throw in a playful message like let's continue this conversation in person, right? Works great. Let's continue this conversation in person. I know a great taco shop. Let's go on Thursday. Boom. This is going to make her make plans with you to keep getting the reward of attention, right? You want this conversation to keep going, right? You like how it makes you feel. You like the attention. Great. Then you're going to see me in person. Then you're going to get your ass ready and you're going to put on something nice. You're going to get the fuck out of your house and come meet me. If she deflects or she does the busy thing, you know she's using you as a pen pal. This is a perfect vet. And it doesn't matter if you literally got her number the same day. It does not matter. Okay? Women want to see guys they want to see. Don't buy into the excuses of, oh, I have social anxiety and oh, I don't like that fast. I get to know you in person. That's how adults do it. Right? If you're a kid, then you want to stay texting. Okay? We're not in 8th grade anymore, like I was, getting played. We're not in 8th grade anymore. This is how adults work. This is why we're talking, to meet up in person to get to know each other. There's no excuse, is my point. There's no excuse. So you'll know very quickly at that point if she's using you for attention or she genuinely wants to get to know you and meet up. And By having this, Kate, and then after that again, same thing as the other time. You want to disappear, you want to vanish, you want to set the plans, and then just text her Dave to confirm. That's it. Don't text her a lot. The more you text her, the more she'll ghost you. The more predictable, the more she'll ghost you. The more you send morning and goodnight text, the more she'll ghost you. You have to be unpredictable. You have to be hot and cold. You want to start heavy and leave her wanting more. That's exactly how it's done. You start heavy, you leave her wanting more. You set the date at peak emotional curiosity, vanish. And now, with the days leading up to the date, which by the way, I wouldn't set more than 3 days out, 2 to 3 days out from that conversation. Now, she's thinking about you because that left an impression on her mind, that conversation. She was emotionally fueled in that conversation. And this is what I didn't do in my story, right? Well, granted, we couldn't really hang out that much. It's like 8th grade and in high school and shit like that. But still, if you don't take that emotional height and redirect it towards seeing her in person and then detaching, then she's going to use you for attention and get bored. That's exactly what happened. I just talked to them all day with no end in sight, no end outcome, no desire. It was just like talk, miss you, attention. Obviously, she ghosted me. It was very predictable. And that's all she wanted, right? She wanted the attention. And then when she got the attention, when the chase is over, they're done. Another really important thing, too, even though I was just a kid, but the guy is the one that needs to be less excited, less emotional. And I was probably equal, if not more, back at that time because I wanted to impress and I was concerned about her getting bored of me, which is so ironic, isn't it? I was concerned about her getting bored of me, so I talked to her a lot. Oh, man. That's how most guys date, though. Most guys think and date backwards than how the woman thinks. The less you talk to them, the less bored they are of you. Isn't that ironic? But the more you talk to them, the more bored they are of you. And so, naturally speaking, the man needs to be less emotional, needs to be less attached, because the man is the masculine one leading. If you're leading the dynamic, then why are you so available? Why are you so lovey-dovey? Why are you can't be leader and have all of these qualities and traits. Separate them. Pick one or the other. If you're the emotional, you lose the game. If you're masculine, you win the game. But you can't have that behavior and claim to be masculine, because women know on a biological level that's not the case. They know that men that have purpose, that are leading, that are pursuing, that what I wasn't doing in 8th grade, are the ones they want to be with. They want to be with the guy that has demand, has power, right? They're not loyal to lovey-dovey texts. They're not loyal to, they have no affinity to that shit. They don't care, okay? They have loyal to power and domination, because the more powerful you are, the more dominant they are, the less they have anxiety, because they have trust that you can handle shit. That's a more advanced game, and we'll talk about that in another video. But the premise of the video is I sucked at this because my thinking was backwards. I viewed reality in the wrong light. I viewed reality in an incorrect frame. And my frame was this. If I don't talk to her, she'll get bored and she'll leave me. And I like her, so I'm going to keep talking to her. And I'm going to show her how much I like her. Flip it on its head. The more you talk to her, the more bored she is of you. The more you tell her how much you like her, the less she will like you. So if you're concerned about her ghosting, start pulling away. Start doing push-pull, right? Engage, make plans, vanish. Send voice notes to be variety, right? Variety is the spice of life. It's the spice of female nature. That's what they really, really enjoy. So if anything you take from this video, you have to understand that you can't think of dating in a man's perspective. You have to think of dating from a female's shoes. And it's complete opposite to ration and logic, which is what you operate as. You have to put yourself in their shoes. You have to see things from a different light. You have to see things from a different perspective in order to win the game, in order to keep them interested, in order for them to not ghost you, which is what they will keep doing if you keep showing your cards, if you keep being boring, if you keep being predictable. They will ghost you. They don't owe you anything, okay? They don't have any affinity to you. There is not one time in their life they're like, I should really give him closure. I should really do. They don't give a shit. They're selfish creatures, which is fine. It's not necessarily a negative thing, but you have to understand the game. If you play it rationally and logically and linearly, you're killed. Slaughterhouse. No closure. Ghosted, gone. Too much too soon. Too much too fast. No intrigue. No mystery. Game's over. She's bored. She's ghosting you. You win the game by thinking backwards, by putting yourself in their shoes, and being interesting, having intrigue. And guys, make sure you click the link below for my Telegram group because there's a free guide in there that's going to help you find out why she's losing attraction for you. It's called She Doesn't Love You, She Loves This Version of You. So click the link below. It's all in my Telegram group, which is completely free, and the guide is free. I'll see you in there.